Hello, 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 and welcome to the next episode of the Shane Walsh podcast. So, today's episode is based off a lot of the conversations that I'm getting in relation to chatting with some people on Instagram, on DMs, and kind of what I hear from a lot of people who kind of start to work with myself on a one-to-one capacity, particularly in the one-to-one coaching, but also in the female fat loss group. And it's that sentence of, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. And I think it's a phrase that is out there. I hear it at least 4, 5, 6 times a week. And it's coming from a place of, it's a lot more deep rooted, and it's probably one of the sentences that is killing your progress and where you want to go an awful lot more. It's one of the most damaging sentences I hear when people are talking about losing weight. I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. And maybe you've said it, maybe you've heard someone say it, maybe you've taught it while scrolling around your phone, maybe you've seen other people kind of scrolling up on social media. Maybe you're doing it when you're eating and you're kind of like, I know what to do, I'm just deciding not to do it. Maybe you're thinking about kind of going to the gym, but you might be just sitting there on the couch and just like, I know what to do, I'm just not going to do it, I'll just start tomorrow. And the sentence often feels like accountability. It feels like self-awareness. And what it actually is absolute bullshit. It's complete and utter holding you self-sabotage to a T bullshit. It is next level, top tier bullshit. And I'm going to dismantle this argument piece by piece, because this one sentence is going to stand from you where you want to go versus staying where you are versus beating yourself up at this same stage 1, 2, 3 years down the line. So this is a little bit of a direct episode. It's a little bit of a pick up your big boy pants and big girl pants and kind of let's go. So when we kind of say this whole thing of I know what to do, I know what I'm doing, we need to kind of look at it and kind of look at what it actually means. So for many, it's this illusion of knowing. So when you say I know what to do, what you actually mean is, you should eat vegetables, that you should move your body, that you should get enough sleep, that you should manage your stress, that you should feed yourself first, that you should weight train to help build muscle, but you should eat more protein, etc. Amazing. But we have the same knowledge. A lot of people do not have a knowledge issue. And this viral sensation that's going around at the minute with this high protein cheesecake is not going to help you. It's literally the same thing that a lot of the viral content that you see on social media is built on. You've had high protein recipes rammed down your throat by an awful lot of coaches in the hope that it's going to change things. You've had loads and loads and loads of fat burning exercises in the hope it's going to burn that fat. But I'm saying I know what to do in order to lose weight, I'm just not doing it, is like saying I know the lotto numbers, do you know what, I'm just not going to do it. So let me explain. Knowing you need to buy a lottery ticket to win the lottery is not a strategy. It's surface level information. The actual mechanics of consistently winning, the odds, the patterns, the systems, you don't know these. You don't know those because they don't exist in any replaceable way. Weight loss isn't quite as random as a lottery, though. There are people who have been dealt a fairer hand. There are those who haven't. But the comparison stands because what you think you know is just this most basic level information. We think calories in, calories out, full stop. There's so much more nuance to weight loss than most people will ever realize. We don't have this shortage of high protein recipes, but yet we don't cook. We know that we don't eat enough vegetables, but yet we don't eat vegetables. 90% of people blame the food pyramid when most people don't actually stick to it, not through anything through fault of their own. Most people know that they could be going to bed earlier, but decide not to, which is fine. But saying, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it, it's bullshit. So what you're actually missing when you say I'm just not doing it is you're skipping about 17 different systems, skill sets, psychological barriers, what's getting in your way. You don't know how to manage hunger and fullness cues that have been distorted by silly diets over the past. Maybe you don't know how to navigate social situations without feeling deprived or binging afterwards through no fault of your own. Because that 21-year-old PT still living at home just tells you need to want it more. You don't know how to handle stress without using food as your primary coping mechanism, which is not a fault of your own. We just haven't been told this, given the tools to do so. We don't know how to plan meals or plan a food shop in a way that fits your life and it doesn't become a full-time job. We don't know how to deal with that voice in our head when it's kind of like, I think I've ruined the day, one cookie, might as well eat 12, so the fuck it button. We don't know how to build a habit that sticks when motivation will crash them because it crashes, and then we beat ourselves up for not being able to stick to it. And we don't know how to handle when the scales goes up because it will go up at certain stages. And we don't know how to handle that terror without that reality of succeeding. Because what scares an awful lot more people is not the fear of failing, but I believe it's actually the fear of succeeding. My big main point is you don't have a knowledge problem. We just don't have the skills at the minute. And maybe the systems is another problem. So the overwhelm that a lot of people will talk about is, I'm just not doing it. You're overwhelmed. You're following a million different accounts. For example, you may have PCOS and you may be going onto TikTok or social media and you may be told, cut out dairy, cut out sugar, cut out carbs, chop off your arm. All these different things. They're all as silly as each other and become completely overwhelmed, stressed, not sleeping, and then we get cravings in the evening because we're not nourishing ourselves during the day. You're standing at the base of a mountain with 1,000 different paths leading up to it, and everyone's screaming everyone's different direction. I can go onto social media right now and find someone that argues that we should have protein with most meals, which I would agree with. And then I'd find someone that says protein is literally going to be kryptonite for you. Or you could find something else. Go keto, go vegan, go intermittent fasting, go calorie counting, go intuitive eating. Just move more, eat less. It's about insulin. No, it's about inflammation. And then you're just frozen. So no wonder this overwhelm is coming from. An overwhelm is essentially this whole feeling of we're not living life by our values. So you don't pick a path. You stand there. You're at the doorway. You're literally just standing there. And then you beat yourself up more for standing there, telling yourself you know what to do, you're just not doing it. And it becomes this story that we tell ourselves. The truth, we don't know what path to take because they all contradict each other. I could find papers that will contradict every other thing. We don't know where to start because everything feels equally and urgent, equally important and urgent. You don't know what will actually work for you in your life, your schedule, your budget, your preferences, your history. The overwhelm isn't a personal failing, and that's a massive thing we need to differentiate. It's a completely rational response to contradictory information and zero personalized guidance. You don't have an ability issue. You don't have a knowledge issue. Fear of failure versus fear of success. This is the really uncomfortable part. The part most people don't want to examine. Sometimes I'm just not doing it isn't about overwhelm at all. It's about fear. I talk a lot about fear with my clients on a day-to-day basis. There's the obvious one which kind of comes through is, what if I try and it doesn't work? What if I'm the one person who this doesn't work for? What if I fail again and prove to myself that I'm broken? The fear is valid. It's completely real. But there's another fear that's even more ingrained and more insidious in you right now. That's the fear of success. What if I actually do this? And what if this actually works? What if I lose the weight and I'm still unhappy? What if people treat me differently? What if I still identify as the fat friend? What if I have to maintain this forever? What if I'm one of those people who only talks about their diet or loses their friends and become obsessed with the gym? What if my partner feels threatened and leaves me? What if I don't know who I am without this struggle? This fear is a sneaky little fucker, and it comes at you pretty hard because it doesn't feel like fear. It feels like nothing. It feels like inertia. It feels like I'm just not doing it. But this whole tangle of webs that you're in right now, it's a tangle of anxiety about what your life looks like on the other side. And here's the thing, staying stuck feels safe. Because if you're someone who identifies as an emotional leader and the only thing that you have in your arsenal right now to deal with emotions through no fault of your own is food. And in order to deal with your emotions, food is leaned on a lot less. We don't know how to deal with them. And then we're giving up the one thing that's worked for us. We don't know who we are. We panic. The brain goes into meltdown mode. And that anxiety ramps up because it feels safe. That it's better just to stay where we are. We fight against it and fight against it. And it gets tiring. It's like saying, I know how to become a millionaire. I'm just not doing it. It's the exact same thing. I know how to become better footballer than Cristiano Ronaldo, but I'm just not doing it. I know how to make a number one hit that's going to make me millions, but I'm just not doing it. I know how to become CEO of the company. I'm just not doing it. Same thing. Same tangle. Staying stuck feels safe. It feels like you can control things and it feels like you know what to expect. The devil you know comes to mind. I'm just not doing it. Lets you stay in this zone of familiarity. That's an easy word to say. While maintaining that fantasy that you could do it. You're choosing not to. It protects your ego. We all have an ego. Keeps you safe from both failure and success. So why is this sentence actually holding you back? Why is it so damaging? Because it stops the investigation. When you say, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it, you've closed the case. You've decided the problem is laziness. It's fucking not. You have a family, you get up at 3 or 4 a.m. to get them up, and you've got a full-time job, and you get them ready, you get the food shop in, you're cleaning, whatever it might be. You think you have a willpower problem. It's fucking not. It's not a willpower problem. That's laziness by the coach that's taught you that. It's not a willpower problem. It's not a white knuckling problem. It's not that you don't want it enough. It's not a discipline problem. It's not laziness. It's not willpower, and it's not discipline. That's the issue. It can feel like it's a personal character flaw. And character flaws feel fixed. They feel rigid. They feel unchanged. And you're just the kind of person who doesn't follow through. So we beat ourselves up for it. But the moment you stop saying this sentence and start asking yourself different questions, everything opens up. What skills am I missing? Could it be, I don't know how to manage weekends? I don't know how to not beat myself up for maybe eating that little bit more. I don't know how to deal with my emotions when I completely get overstressed and I tend to binge. I don't know how to stop secret eating, even though I want to, but because I'm not liking how I feel or I look. What are you afraid of? What would be the worst outcome that would happen if you didn't lean on food as often? Or you got healthy, you lowered your cholesterol, you had more energy to play with your kids. What tiny thing could I learn or could I practice first? But these things aren't shiny. They're not quick enough wins for an awful lot of people. But these questions have answers and they lead somewhere. So I'm just not doing it leads nowhere. It's a dead end. It's like never getting off a roundabout. So what to do instead? Seriously, stop saying the sentence. It's about as useful as a hole in a condom. Genuinely. When you catch yourself, you can replace it. I don't know how to do this in a way that fits my actual life. Replace it with words like, I don't know how to do this to fit into my actual life. I'm struggling here. Please help. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. I'm scared of what happens if this actually works. I don't have the skills or the systems in place for me right now. Second, get specific what you're actually missing. Is it meal planning skills? Is it binge eating skills? Is it emotional regulation tools? Is it a way to not feel guilty for social eating? Is it body image issues? Is it permission to start smaller than you should? Is it dropping that perfection? Is it dropping that all or nothing? Is it managing and learning how to eat intuitively? Pick one thing is the third thing. Not everything, one skill to build, one system to implement, one tiny experiment to run. And fourth, get support, therapy, community, a coach, someone that can actually help you to see the gaps. A prime example, my car is out the window right now and it's banjaxed. Went for the NCT, the back lights are not working. No lights are working, so I can't drive the car. And I've tried to resolve the issue myself while also trying to ring around and get someone to sort it. Now, it's nearly been 2 weeks by the time I'm recording this where the issue has happened. Still can't drive my car. So luckily my wife's car is here so I can use hers. And she can take her sister's. But I know that my skill set isn't suited to it. So it's not a character flaw. But I've tried to do what I can and it hasn't worked. So what I'm able to do is I'm actually able to go and get someone that will be able to help me. It's not that I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. There's a little bit of a difference. I'm reaching out for help and guidance because my skill set doesn't match to what I need to do right now. And the person who will be able to do it and skip all that learning lesson for me, and I can ask questions to, is the auto electrical engineer. So I'm outsourcing the problem, fixing the problem, and learning and seeing what the actual remedy is. So the next time it happens, and hopefully it doesn't happen, that I'll be able to spot it and just kind of say, you know what, this will be quicker the next time if it happens again. So I want you to actually retire this sentence, put it away, bury it, put it into the backyard, whatever it might be. You're not lazy. Stop saying I'll start Monday. Stop saying you've ruined today already. You're not lazy. You don't lack willpower. You're overwhelmed. Haven't got the skill set at this moment in time. Doesn't mean it's not possible. Just means that you're possibly terrified of succeeding. Being seen as a failure. Don't know who you are without these things. Stop pretending you know what to do and start getting curious. Let someone guide you to where you want to go. This is where change will happen. Not just a meal plan. That's lazy. That is lazy. Going for another meal plan. It's fucking stupid. Because they work until they don't work and then you beat yourself up when you have a meal out. That's the definition of not working. You don't need another high protein cheesecake. You don't need another high protein recipe book. You don't need another high protein recipe. Sitting down with a piece of paper and saying, all right, what foods do I like? I don't know what I like. But write some meals out that you do like that are easy. Beans on toast. Eggs on toast. Oats. Sandwich. Curry. Pizza. Whatever it might be. It's not that you don't know. It's just completely overwhelmed with the rubbish and the nonsense that the fitness industry has tried to beat into you. And they prey on your insecurities. They prey on your misery. They prey on your vulnerability in the hope that you'll buy. But it's time to stop fucking giving into that crap and start to look after yourself and go for where the work will be. I have 2 spaces for one-to-one coaching open for February. You get WhatsApp support with myself. You get one-to-one calls with me every second week where we talk about goal setting, look at what's working, what's not working. Because there will be stuff that we work on won't work. It's about trying different things. looking at what will work for you, how to have a life, how to stop yo-yo dieting, how to stop or reduce emotional eating, how to stop binge eating, to see the changes that you see. So if you're interested at all, click a link in the show notes. Let's book a call and have a chat. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But I want you to make 2026 the year you stop saying, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. Because you don't. You're overwhelmed, scared, lost. But the good news is things can change.